kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
All right, everyone, welcome to Sin City tonight. The drivers of the Western States Racing League are about to take on a track bigger than they've seen the last couple weeks. Last 2 weeks, they were at Richmond and Bristol. Bristol had tempers flaring when we left, but Bentley Glazer was able to maintain his dominating lead, led 117 laps to bring home the victory in the 200-lap race. Chad Simpson second. Justin T. Wilkinson came in P3. But that's enough about last week. Let's go ahead and bring in my co-commentator here, Liam. Liam, man, how is it going?
And I'm doing really good. I'm excited here for tonight. Gonna have 107 laps in the in the Sin City, in the desert heat. It's going to be a great time. Like you said, Bentley Glazer got the job done last week. He's going to be looking to continue on with some of that momentum. But tempers flared these last couple of weeks. I'd expect to see a little bit more calmer of a run here at Las Vegas, given the fact that we are 1.5 miles in length.
Yeah, that 1.5 miles is definitely going to lead to some cooler heads here, but it is Vegas. Temperature on the track is only 84 degrees, so not too hot here in the desert. Usually we see those temperatures climb up into the triple digits, but not tonight. Like Ray Partridge finished his second lap in a 30.68. See if we can get some drivers out on track. Let's take a look at Bentley Glazer here. Coming through his outlap, getting ready to take the green flag.
Yeah, and I'd expect to see these guys running kind of top side on this first lap, maybe middle, lower middle on the second one. Track's definitely going to widen out throughout the course of this night, but Bentley Glazer staying right up next to the wall, trying to keep that thing wound up as much as he possibly can. Get that momentum on lap number 2.
Yeah, definitely they want to try and get as much speed built up as they can. They'll turn left, try and get close to that white line as they're coming through the corners, try and take the shortest way around the track here. First lap for Glazers with 31.01. We'll see how fast he can go the second lap as it coming down the Nellis straightaway, the backstretch here at Las Vegas. Coming through 3 and 4.
Comes across the start-finish line. He's going to go up to second place with a 30.55, tied to the 100th with Opplinger. Going to go ahead and see just how many thousandths separate them when we get our starting grid going. James Lehman moves up to 6th place as we take a look at Butch Davis, who's finally gotten himself out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, Butch Davis involved in a couple incidents last week, but he is looking to bounce back here at Vegas. First time by is a 32.01. Second lap is always going to be, well, most of the time will be faster than the first as these guys have those trucks built up the momentum as they head down the backstretch for the final time here. Start finish line for Davis. We'll see what he can do here. Jumps up to 4th, 30.57. Take a look at Justin Michael. Justin Michael looking to get into this championship battle this season. Missed a couple races, but looking to go to the top of the board here, and he'll do just that with a 30.50.
Blazing fast lap time there for Justin Michael. See if Charlie Widener can get himself something nice here on his qualifying run. Might not be able to finish this time around. With only 20 seconds left.
That's going to be close, going to be tight here to see if he gets that second lap, but his first lap was probably one of the faster we've seen on the first lap as he was a 30.75, and he will, it's going to be close. Does it?
He comes across the line.
I don't think it counted it.
30.75, I believe. I don't know if he upgraded at all, but that was close. Justin Michael's going to come away with the pole, though. Opplinger to his outside.
Guys, get gridded up. We'll take a quick look here at the points. Ryan Steele is currently still leading the points with a 604. Chad Simpson, 596. Justin Michael with a 571. Lyle Swearingen, 551. And Christian Bishop, 543. All those will change, though, once this race becomes official, because then they will get the drop weeks counted up. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the starting grid. Justin Michael, of course, starting on the pole position. Matthew Opplinger just to his outside. Last week's winner, Bentley Glazer and Lyle Swearingen, going to make up row 2. Row 3 is Chad Simpson and Butch Davis. Chris Sumard and Rob Haynes are going to make up row number 4. Starting 9th is going to be James Lehman with Ryan Still. rounding out that top 10. And then we've got Justin T. Wilkinson and Chad Stearns rolling off row number 6. Row 7 is going to be Michael Melfeld Jr. with Dennis Fuson.
To that, we can move on to Bob Beltrami in 15th place. Keith Hovda on his outside. Then Earl and David Weaver make up row number 9. Morris Bogan, Brian Barnes round out your top 20. Then we move on to Christian Bishop, Dan Brazington, Ray Partridge, Daryl Scott, Julian Ritchie, Charlie Widener, Dustin Burns, James Campbell, Alan Bergen, Heath Smith, Jai Baxter, and Todd Miles round out the field. 32 drivers ready to roll here in the desert, just a couple miles away from the Strip in Las Vegas, and I can imagine that's not the only gambling these drivers are going to do throughout the course of this race. Moving on, we've got 4 sets of tires. That's 1 on the trucks and 3 more in the pits, 80% fuel. We're definitely going to see some differing strategies throughout the course of this one. They can't make it to the end. They might not even be able to make it on one stop. So depending on how cautions fall, we're going to see what these guys do with those 3 sets of tires.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Vegas sometimes tends to lead itself to that fuel strategy race. One guy to watch, as always, I bring it up almost every week, there's a fuel strategy race, is going to be in number 10th position here in that 12 Chevy, and that's going to be Ryan Steele.
And Mike, let's not forget what happened the last time the NASCAR Cup Series came here. Joey Logano got the job done on fuel mileage after dominating driver Christopher Bell. Got within a second on the last lap, but just wasn't close enough to make it happen. Could we see something like that here today? Who's going to spin the wheel? Who's going to throw the dice? About to find out. Truck makes the hard left turn. Flag in the hands of the starters. It's waving, and Justin Michael leads us down over Opplinger. Already 3 wide, a slow start from what looks to be Chris Simard. Potentially Michael Milfeld. So Michael holds on to the lead coming up out of the corner, and I think it was...
Like Melfeld lost a couple positions there. He has faded back to where Bob Beltrami is right on his bumper. Just to his outside is going to be Christian Bishop.
Look at Morris Bogan getting up right next to the wall here on the first lap. That's going to be daring here. Not a lot of grip up there, not a lot of rubber laid down. A little bit more dust up there than anywhere else as Bentley Glazer now tries to move down to the bottom side to take the race lead coming up off of turn number 2. Where does Opplinger go? He moves up to the top side.
Now Opplinger goes back up to the top side. Bentley Glazer down to the inside, side by side for the lead, and he will get the lead from Justin Michael. Matthew Opplinger also trying to go through there as well. Glazer leads his first lap of the race.
That kind of looks like a classic move out of Justin Michael. He's kind of fallen back a little bit. Not really using up his tires a crazy amount early on. Expect to see him make passes later on in this run. Now you see the 50 of James Lehman getting down to the inside. Lehman got his 4th win on the campaign just a couple of weeks ago. Trying to get up there and tie with number 87 for 5 wins on the season.
Yeah, James Lehman found himself in a little bit of a catastrophe last week at Bristol. Looking to bounce back here as he is currently up 6 spots already with only 4 laps run. And he is running inside the top 3. Butch Davis trying to get to the inside there of Lyle Swearingen, trying to follow Chris Simard through.
Swearingen not giving up on the top side, though. He's getting a run up here on the outside of Chris Simard. Trying to follow that 42 Dr. Dabber machine of Chad Simpson through, but guys racing side by side. Chad Simpson now moves down to the bottom side, trying to get a nose on the inside of Justin Michael, but can't quite get down there. He's going to stay in line. Fastest lap of the race so far goes to James Lehman. Ran that lap last time around, lap number 4, as he is right behind the race leaders within 0.3 of a second coming up off of turn number 4. Not bad for a driver who started just inside the top 10 in 9th place.
Chad Simpson's all over the back of that 87 machine trying to get by Justin Michael. Hasn't been able to get that nose down to the inside. Goes through now as they head down the backstretch just to the inside of Justin Michael.
I know, Mike, I know the short track racing is last week and the week before, but I do believe that saying still remains the same. If you've got a big gap in front of you and a host of cars behind you, you are holding them up. And look at this host of cars behind the 87 and 42 going side by side for the 4th position.
As you saw right there, Chris Samard kind of got off the track, went down to the apron, lost a little bit of ground here, but now those FBR Motorsports teammates are all lined up down on the bottom. Looks like Opplinger got a little loose here, goes down to the inside. He's going to try and get back to P2 here as he is side by side with James Lehman.
Lehman running a really good race, really aggressive at the beginning here. Interesting to see as Bentley Glazer holds on to the race lead. Lehman gets clear for second. Here comes Opplinger looking back to the inside once again.
They single file out. Let's go back and take a look at this gaggle of cars that are all over that 87 and 42 trying to get by. Just haven't been able to get that momentum. You got Lyle Swearingen, Butch Davis, Chris Samard, Brian Steele up there as well. Dennis Fuson.
I got Rob Haynes. He's got the 33 on the side of that beer store. Toyota Tundra. He's working to the inside of Ryan Steele, who started in 10th, is now running 9th, battling for that 9th position. He's able to make up a couple spots on the restart, but he's kind of been stationary since that initial first lap.
Justin Michaels working back to the front here as he got by Chad Simpson again. Now Butch Davis and Chad Simpson going to be battling out side by side, trying to get some momentum on that 87 machine. But Justin Michael so far has been able to hold them off for the moment here. Looks like we have a battle for the lead as James Lehman's looking to the inside of Bentley Glazer.
Great run all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Glazer gives plenty of space, trying to get right up next to that wall to get the momentum coming up off of the corner. That 50 truck is just on rails right now. That Velocity Chevy Silverado is doing a phenomenal job holding on to that bottom.
Yeah, we've seen James Lehman do it time and time again, especially when he can find that dominant truck. And it looks like he might have one this week as well. He's trying to get back to that winner circle. He had, Opplinger into that outside wall.
It's not what you want, especially on corner entry. Good job of recovering that and not getting stuck to that wall, losing a bunch of time.
I think that's the second time he's done it. I believe that's how he lost second place to begin with here, as he went into that outside wall. Justin Michael trying to close in here, but he is just having a battle here with the FBR teammates. You got Butch Davis, Chad Simpson taking turns trying to take their chance to get by that 87. Just haven't been able to do it, as Justin Michael is holding everybody back here. All challengers can get to the outside or inside of him, but they just cannot make that pass.
There is a huge pack behind Justin Michael at this point. I mean, most everybody in the top 20 is now caught up to the bumper of somebody in line here. Look at all of these trucks coming down the back straightaway, and Justin's doing a great job right now. He's not holding these guys up in a crazy way that, everybody's all over each other. He's not giving up positions, though. He's staying right where he wants to be.
Yeah, he is doing just that. Driver, I want to kind of take a look back here at is Jai Baxter. He has been running fairly well. Didn't qualify where he wanted to, but he is looking to make some moves. He's already up to P24, up 7 spots in that 5 Toyota. Charlie Widener didn't get the qualifying run he wanted as time had run out, but he is up 1 spot as well. We'll see what they can do once they kind of get rolling here. Michael Melfeld Jr. has lost a ton of spots. Kind of mentioned it on the initial restart, but he is dropping back quite a ways. He is down 9 positions since the start.
Not a great day there for that 155 machine. Have to keep an eye on him as we continue on. They're side by side. Bob Beltrami got Julian Ricci working to the inside. Oh, up into the wall goes Weaver. David Weaver in the 16 gets a little bit of a wall scrape there. He's going to be able to continue on, but he's topside 3 wide with Christian Bishop and Ray Partridge.
Ray Partridge, Christian Bishop, 3 wide again. I think they were 3 wide a couple times there at Bristol as well. Not necessarily where they want to be. Got Dan Brazington running the high side with Jai Baxter. They kind of bounce off of each other there.
A little bit. Beltrami able to hold on to that position as now the 97 moves out of the inside of Ricci. Keith Hovda. One Main Financial. Looking reminiscent of an old Elliott Sadler paint scheme. We've completed 16 laps, and Bentley Glazer has not looked back since he took the race lead. Take a look at Lyle Swearingen now as he's defending for JTW. Guys are starting to single file out a little bit more behind Justin Michael.
Yeah, they found their line. They know where they want to run now, and now they're just logging laps for the moment. They'll take the position when they have that little bit of momentum, but I think everybody's kind of figured out if they want to catch Bentley Glazer, they better get single filed out and start closing that gap. Bob Beltrami, one of the last in single file as you go back to Julian Ricci. Keith Hovda side by side. Christian Bishop also there. Michael Melfeld Jr. trying to make up some positions.
Things staying pretty clean and green here. Sweeper Club number 19 here out of 107. Butch Davis, Chad Simpson, Lyle Swearingen coming up all over each other. Running just inside of the top 10. ATW trying to find a way around his teammates now looking to get side by side coming up off of 4. Chad Simpson and Butch Davis. Lehman moves down to the inside, trying to take away the race lead, but can't quite get down to the bottom down the front straightaway. He went all the way down next to the grass, trying to cut that front straightaway as much as he can, similar to the dog leg at the new Phoenix. Not quite enough, though.
Yeah, he's trying everything he can to get by Glazer. Glazer, it seemed like he was slowly starting to pull away, but James Lehman has been battling back. It's 0.2 of a second is all the gap is as he goes down on the apron, trying to cut it more and more. Slides up behind him, but still a little bit faster, but not much.
These guys are trading hundredths back and forth for the race lead. Opplinger's fallen back a little bit. Justin Michael is closing in on the back of him. Butch Davis and Chad Simpson have separated a little bit. Justin T. Wilkinson tried to get around Lyle Swearingen down the front straightaway. They're bumper to bumper. We'll see if JTW can find anywhere to go. He gets up into the wall, actually. Corner entry into turn number 1.
Justin Michael looking to go by Opplinger now.
He's down on the inside, looking to be able to complete that pass. Not quite, coming up off of turn number 4. Opplinger stays strong with the run up on the outside. Michael's going to have it at the line, but Opplinger not giving it up.
Not at all as he slides up in front of Opplinger. Justin Michael takes that spot, but Opplinger's closing in, going to stay right on his rear bumper, see if he can take that pass back. Give him a little shot headed into the corner.
That was a shot. Put Justin Michael up into P3. Less than a second behind your race leader, Bentley Glazer. Just about a second at this point.
everybody's pretty well settled down a little bit, except for back here in the back. They're still trying to figure out who wants to lead this pack here. Michael Melfeld Jr. gets a little loose of the rear wheels, slide up the track just a touch there. Gets it back under him, but he's going to lose a little bit of time there to Christian Bishop.
That was almost a moment there with the 97 and the 95. 99 up in there. It's battle of the 90s.
97 losing a couple spots there. Brian Barnes, not used to seeing him running back in the pack like this. He's making his way through it, but staying about where he started here. Might be a little strategy play.
There's definitely a lot going on everywhere up in this, really this top 20 to 25. Not a whole lot of separation from 27th forward. Dan Brazington and Earl Weaver are battling for 26. It's a second and a half back to Todd Miles from there. But other than that, the largest gap is between between Bob Beltrami and Christian Bishop at a second and a half. Everybody else is within half a second of the truck in front.
Up to the front here as Bentley Glazer comes by. Like he's been able to extend that lead now to almost 3/10 here.
Yeah, he's got to start putting the hammer down now that the 87 has worked his way up into third place.
Yeah, I almost think sometimes these guys are just watching to see what Justin Michael's doing. If Justin Michael starts to fade through the field, they kind of back it up just a little bit. That way they can try and be close to the same strategy that he's on.
Last time around, Justin Michael just a little bit quicker. 3 wide down the front straightaway with Barnes all the way to the bottom. Partridge, Julian Ricci rather, in the middle. Loses a ton of positions.
Ricci lost a bunch. Partridge, Barnes. It looked like Di Baxter all almost got together there.
They're really getting aggressive around this 20th place battle. To the outside now goes the one of Heath Smith. Not quite enough space. He's going to let up just a little bit.
That would have been close. He almost had his nose in there, and luckily he was able to check out of there before the 97 slid up the track. But this is a hot and heavy battle back here for that 20th position.
Tires are really starting to slide. The sun is starting to go down, so the track temp is coming down, but these tires are still hot. Guys are really starting to feel it in terms of the wear that they're going to be dealing with. Got to believe that first pit stop is going to be coming relatively soon for these drivers who are looking to make it with 2 pit stops.
Yeah, if you're looking for 2 pit stops, you're going to come down probably within, I'd say, the next 5 or so laps. And the way these guys are starting to slide around, I don't know that that's necessarily a bad idea, depending on what the lap times are. Because right now, Bentley Glazer's best lap time was a 30:65. His last one was a 32:16. So, I mean, you're losing a second and a half right here in 30 laps. So, it might be beneficial to come down and take an extra set of tires here.
We'll have to see what these guys decide to do. The lead of the race goes to Bentley Glazer by about half a second. Justin Michael closing in for second place. Chris Samard over here, he's got himself a nice battle shaping up with Lyle Swearingen.
Dennis Poussin goes to the inside of JTW.
Oh, going to be a little bit of contact there. Poussin all the way to the bottom of the racetrack.
I'll say he stayed away there. I think he'll slide up the track just a little bit, but everything's all right there. You got Rob Haynes on the high side, sliding down in front of Morris Bogan. The only driver that has been down pit lane is the race to the beer stand winner, and that's going to be Alan Bergen.
I think they had a deal if you got there before lap number 20, you get 2 for 1 or something. Alan Bergen, the only driver out of the race. James Campbell, last driver on the lead lap. Not too far in front of the race leader, as now here comes a little bit of a battle. JTW to the inside of Chad Stearns. Trying to make a move for the top 10. And Justin Michael is going to come into the pits.
And JTW did too.
Oh, JTW, yep. Sorry about that.
Ray Partridge, Jai Baxter, all coming in. So looks like that's about where you're going to want to come down if you're going to make this a 2-stop race. We'll see what the leader does here. Justin
Coming
Michael.
in, but this time Justin Michael is.
You were just telling him when to come take his pit stop. It's all right.
We've got 2 Justins in here. Can get a little confusing. We've got 2 Chads. That'll confuse me as well sometime. A couple of James as well.
I was saying, then they change numbers all the time.
Yeah, Bentley Glazer rocking the 7 truck this week. He has for the last few, but was driving the 87 for a little while.
Yeah, the 87 was his original number before he went on his hiatus. And Justin Michael showed up and kind of took that over.
Bentley Glazer moves into the pits. Here comes Chad Simpson as well. Oplinger Stearns also coming in this time. Morris Bogan going to come in. When does James Lehman come? Gotta believe he's doing nothing but hurting himself, losing this time on old tires.
Yeah, he can probably stay out one more like this lap and come in, because they're still going to have that out lap. And he might be able to get enough speed in there as he's coming in hot.
It looks like he's going to be able to get down in time. That was aggressive on pit entry, as now Ryan Steele's going to inherit the race lead. You mentioned it during the pace lap. If anybody's going to play any sort of fuel strategy, expect him to have one of the better ideas for it. 40 laps complete this time around, and Ryan Steele, well, he's going to try to make it on one stop. I have to believe 54 is a must. But he's not going to make it there. He's coming in this time, and he's got one coming in behind him. Lyle Swearingen, Dennis Huson, Rob Haynes going to follow, along with Barnes, Widener, and Heath Smith. Looked like he was getting really wide there, a little wild on the entry. He's going to be able to hold on as Justin Michael could inherit the race lead after that set of green flag pit stops. And what a margin he's going to have over Bentley Glazer. 3 seconds between 8th and 9th, which will turn into 1st and 2nd after these drivers pass the guys on pit lane right now.
Yeah, that gap is going down in a hurry, though. As that gap was over 3 seconds, now it's almost down to 2.5. They're on the same straightaway now as they come down the backstretch.
And Glazer's closing in a little bit. It's, last time by, it was almost 0.4 of a second cut out of the lead for Justin Michael. Fastest lap of the race this time around went to Bentley Glazer in that 7 truck. The 30.56, that's on par with what he qualified with. Just a couple of 100 slower. Or 1,000 slower.
Yeah, the last lap for Bentley Glazer, fastest of the race. The last lap for Justin Michael, a 31.07.
Less than 2 seconds, and you got to wonder if Justin Michael is allowing those tires to work themselves in instead of pushing them super hard on the first couple of laps. Caution flag is out. We've got a problem with Ryan Steele. Michael Milfelt Jr. as well has come on the radio. Might have had something to do with it. There's the 97, Keith Hovda, getting checked up there, but he might have just been coming out of the pits or coming in. Ryan Steele gets turned around in turn 4 on the inside. Oh, Morris Bogan.
Oh,
man.
and clips.
Is that Busan?
No.
Nowhere to go.
Was that Fuson? That had to have been Fuson. See if we can take a look here. Oh, yeah. Just barely caught him.
Sends him head on into the wall. Just trying to get low and didn't really get any lower.
Yeah, that is not... I don't know that it's anything anybody really wanted to see.
Well, most everybody was able to complete that green flag cycle. I believe everybody was.
Yeah, everybody should have made that pit stop, so should be good to go.
A little bit fresher tires for the 7, though. See what happens when they get this restart. About 10 laps shy of halfway, just under.
Yeah, Dennis Fuson, Keith Hovda, they're both going to spend extended time on pit lane. Looks like Charlie Widener put it on the hauler. Butch Davis, James Campbell, and Ryan Steele all a lap down at the moment. So I guess with that, we're going to get stacked up here. Nope, still have another lap. I guess with that, we'll step aside real quick, go through a commercial break. We'll be right back after this, and you'll see more racing action momentarily. All right, welcome back, everybody. The caution flag is about to go away. Green flag's about to come out as they get set to turn them loose one more time here. Justin Michael on the inside, Bentley Glazer on the outside. Pace car makes that left-hand turn. Justin Michael is going to see if he can get a jump here on Bentley Glazer. Glazer has fresher tires. Green flag is out. It looks like Glazer might have spun the tires as he fades in behind Justin Michael there.
And Michael has the advantage of being able to choose when he wants to go. Great job by him to get away. And now it looks like the 50 truck is going to be all over the back. Second place Bentley Glazer, and now he moves down to the inside. JTW not too far behind. He's trying to keep the 42 from getting around him. Side by side for second place. A couple of drivers with fresher tires than the race leader. James Lehman moves down to the bottom to try to take it away, and Justin Michael's going to block.
Yeah, Justin Michael chased him clear down the apron. He knows he's faster. It's not quite enough in that 87 as those fresher tires are coming to fruition here as James Lehman's going to try and take the lead. Bentley Glazer trying to shove Justin Michael back out front, try and take the high side as they come through 3 and 4 here.
Glazer knows that he doesn't want that 50 truck to get out in front for the lead before he can pass the 87. Otherwise, that's going to allow Lehman to drive away. Justin Michael really not giving this race lead up, but I think this time around, Lehman's going to be able to get clear. No, not quite. Michael pinches down hard in turns 1 and 2.
Battle for the leads heating up as well. We also have almost 3 wide action back there with Bob Beltrami. He was kind of stuck with Lyle Swearingen back there as well.
Guys using up every inch of racetrack that is allotted to them. Justin Michael tried to come down in the middle of the quarter to pinch down that 50, make them use up a little bit more stuff, heat up those tires so that the 87 can get the advantage. Bentley Glazer up on the top side trying to push that 87 along so he can get around the 50 and take the fight to the 87 himself.
Well, Ryan still head down pit road trying to get that 12 truck fixed up here. James Lehman still trying to get by that 87. The 87 is not going anywhere. Justin Michael is driving the wheels off of that thing right now.
The more laps you get on these tires, the better and better that outside lane is going to be. Now, Justin Michael's able to get clear for the race lead. Glazer tried to get to the outside of the 50. Not quite enough momentum getting into the corner. It is Michael, Lehman, and Glazer now single file as we approach halfway next time by.
Yeah, they have single filed out, but behind them you have Chad Simpson and Chris Simard side by side. Chad Stearns back there as well. Starting to single file out just a little bit now.
A little bit calmer on this initial, or on this restart versus the initial race start. Christian Bishop up on the outside, losing some positions.
Rob Haynes getting by, able to slide up in front.
A little bit of damage to the rear, left rear of the 68. Looks like that thing is bent in just a little bit.
A little bit on the inside there. You can kind of see the damage here. Rob Haynes trying to get by, just haven't been able to.
Yeah, we'll see if that damage helps or hurts the 68, but right now Rob Haynes unable to complete that pass up on the outside. Not for lack of trying, though. He is right behind the 8 Dog Bear Racing machine of Ray Partridge.
He is all over that rear bumper. Christian Bishop trying to work his way through. He slides down behind Lyle Swearingen. Ray Partridge is almost going to wind up 3 wide in the middle, but has enough momentum to clear Rob Haynes and slide up on the outside. Pretty much single filed out as Ray Partridge pulls down now. Going on here. Still tight battle for the lead. Justin Michael, James Lehman, Bentley Glazer losing touch just a little bit here as James Lehman goes down to the inside, going to pass Justin Michael for the lead. See if he can actually complete that pass. He's just barely clear here. See if he clears, slides up in front, and he'll do just that. Headed down the backstretch.
Easier this time without the 7 pushing the 87 down the back straightaway. James Lehman able to take away the race lead, but here comes Michael to fight back down to the inside.
Looks like everybody's pretty much single filed out. Matthew Opplinger is right on the rear bumper of Bob Beltrami. Chad Stearns going to the inside of JTW here.
Yeah, they got really close there coming through turns 1 and 2. I kind of thought they were going to get into it, but they keep it off of each other. Battling for 6th place right now is now Opplinger and Bob Beltrami are side by side just behind him. Beltrami, he's up 7 spots from where he started, the 15th starting position. Meanwhile, Matthew Opplinger is 7 spots down from where he started, the 3rd position, or the 2nd position, rather.
Their biggest mover of the race is back here in that 62 Ford of Todd Miles as he is up 14 spots. Opplinger working to the inside of Beltrami.
Going to complete that pass coming up off of the corner. Not for long, though. Here comes Beltrami back up on the top side. Tries to get his nose in there before the corner. Can't quite do it, but he's going to fight back on the outside. A little bit of help from Lyle Swearingen behind him. Chad Stearns trying to work to the inside of JTW once again. Nothing doing this time around. Opplinger, he's got some speed in that truck. Trying to work his way back up to the front, looking to the outside of Chad Stearns. Not quite enough to get the job done there. Stearns going to try to make a move now on JTW. Where does the 51 go?
51
oh, into the wall goes JTW on corner entry.
I'll say, looked like the 51 was starting to follow JTW up into that wall. Matthew Opplinger was close to it a couple times earlier in that initial restart. And looked like JTW got a little loose. Maybe Opplinger got into that rear bumper there, trying to help him get by Chad Stearns, but Stearns is able to take that position here.
Here comes Opplinger, the bottom 3 wide. Big move there. Now they go down into turn 1. Stearns trying to pinch that 51 down to the bottom. He's going to slide up the racetrack a little bit. No contact coming up off of turn 2, but these 3 not giving an inch to each other. So the inside lane is going to be the one that loses out the most. Still stays there. A little bit of contact.
Chad Stearns
off the racetrack.
JTW. Chad Stearns sent JTW up the racetrack. Bob Beltrami is going to take advantage here, as is Lyle Swearingen. Swearingen's trying to stay on the bottom, trying to get past Beltrami as well.
All of this happening inside the top 10. Michael Milfeld Jr. trying to get to the inside of JTW. JTW now to the outside of Butch Davis.
JTW was running inside that top 3. Now he is trying to hang on to the top 10 here as Michael Milfeld Jr. is beginning to close in on that rear bumper. Rob Haynes right behind Jr. And they single file out.
You can see a little bit of a crinkle there on the left front fender there on the 19. It was a result of that contact that we saw with the Chad Stearns truck. Looks like he's going to be able to continue on okay, but Milfeld going to try to get down to the inside entering turn 1. See if there's any long-term effect with that damage on the 19.
Doesn't look like it for the moment here. Lyle Swearingen has puts Davis down to his inside. Davis got stuck a lap down when that caution came out on lap 40 here, but trying to battle back here. Needs to get by James Campbell, though, to wind up, I believe, in that lucky dog position. Yeah, has to get by James Campbell.
A second lead for James Lehman. Bentley Glazer closing in just a little bit on Justin Michael. Last time around, they were equal in lap times. Times before that, 100 in the favor of the 7 truck.
Yeah, depending on pit strategy, even with that caution, I'd imagine we're going to see drivers come down within the next 5 to 10 laps here, make that final pit stop, and get set and roll the dice for the end of the race.
30 laps to go this time around. 40 laps to go this time around. But imagine, yeah, you're pretty spot on there, Mike. Within the next 10 or so laps, you should be hitting pit road. Across the stripe that time, a 31.97 for James Lehman. He's the only driver still in the 31-second range. Justin Michael in second with a 32.05 and Bentley Glazer a 32.04. Top 3 very close to each other in terms of lap times, but James Lehman just a little bit better. He's coming into the pits right now, your race leader.
I did not have that on my bingo card. I would have thought he would have stayed out a little bit longer. He came in on lap 38 last time, so I was thinking he was going to get closer to that 80 lap mark, but maybe he's going to try and take advantage of those fresher tires, hoping these guys stay out a little bit longer than they did last time, and he's going to try and put them away here.
Well, he knows based off of the first run that he can make it 38 laps on a set of tires. Came in on lap 39 that first run. Now, with 38 laps to go, he's basically just doing what he did in the first stage. And, well, he was fast. I mean, he made it from, I believe, the 9th place starting spot up into the top 3 within the first 10 or 15 laps. So I would expect that 50 truck to be quick coming up off of the pit lane, get himself a hefty gap. The question is, how long does this 87 stay out? And is he going to have enough time on fresher tires to chase him back down?
Yeah, that's going to be the question. We do have Matthew Opplinger and Jai Baxter also in pit lane, but everybody else still staying out, still running these laps.
Have to keep an eye on that. I mean, these guys are about a second and a half slower than they were on their fastest laps. So that's a second and a half that James Lehman is going to be able to gain on these guys. But that is going to flip-flop. When they come in on their fresh tires, they're going to be running those blazing fast laps. James Lehman's going to be dealing with a little bit of wear and tear already on those tires. So yes, he is going to take the lead. He is going to get a decent-sized gap, and that is going to increase the longer Justin Michael stays out. However, the longer Justin Michael stays out, the less time he's going to have on his tires, the harder he can go in this final stint, the less he's got to worry about saving his stuff.
Yeah, you've also got to wonder, I mean, Bentley Glazer and Justin Michael, if they've ever actually pushed their trucks to the limit that they think they can. Because maybe they're only thinking they need, 25, 30 laps like now, and they can run as hard as they can for those laps. It could be a whole different ballgame here, but right now, James Lehman is 38 and a half seconds back at the moment. Pit lane times are 34, so it's going to be tight. Glazer in.
Glazer will likely be able to leapfrog the 87 on pit lane. How long does he stay out? James Lehman is within 5 seconds on track of unlapping himself to Justin Michael.
That is just crazy. Chris Sumard coming in.
The interesting thing for Lehman, though, he's already running laps above the 31-second bracket. Been 7 or 8 laps since he's come into pit. And yeah, he's dealing with some traffic right now, but he's already starting to feel the effects of that tire fall off. He's going to have a hefty gap when Justin Michael comes out of the pits. Bentley Glazer is 4 seconds behind. Behind James Lehman, I mean. He's got about 5 lap fresher tires, and he is closing in a hurry.
Yeah, that's going to be the race for the lead, is going to be who can take advantage of those fresher tires.
James Lehman within 2.5 seconds on track of unlapping himself. Fastest lap of the race goes to Bentley Glazer. I would expect, it's very possible that some of these drivers that have not pitted yet, they could very well put down the fastest lap of the race before this thing is over, because this track temperature is going to continue to cool. We are in full light. We are, complete moonlight. The lights are out. Taking a look at the weather now, it's below 80 degrees in terms of air temperature. The track temperature is sitting at 85. Comes Bentley Glazer up on the outside, passes Butch Davis. That's not for position. He's closing in big time, Mike. He's within 2 seconds, almost a second and a half behind James Lehman. And Justin Michaels come in, Bob Beltrami, Heath Smith, Chad Simpson, Earl Weaver, leaving Christian Bishop out there by himself. He's the only driver yet to come in under this green flag cycle. Actually, James Campbell is still out there as well, trying to get a lucky caution, get himself back on the lead lap without using the free pass.
The gap between Justin Michael and James Lehman right now is just under 7 seconds.
Gap between Bentley Glazer and James Lehman is 3/4 of a second. So I'm starting to think, Mike, this last 27 laps, last 26 when they cross the stripe, it's gonna come down to the 7 and the 87.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think before this starts to heat up in the closing laps, we're going to take our final commercial break. You won't miss anything. We'll go side by side, and when we come back, we'll bring you all this exciting conclusion of the Western States Racing League here from Las Vegas. Well, we shortened up that break right there as we saw Bentley Glazer catch and pass James Lehman. But the question is, will Lehman have anything left in the tank here to defend from Bentley Glazer, or will Glazer be able to drive away here?
Meanwhile, Justin Michael on 5 lap pressure tires sitting in 6th place. just under 5 seconds behind the race lead. He's got a little bit of traffic to deal with in front of him. How quickly can he dispatch? He's going to go middle.
3 wide, splitting them before they hopefully get to 1. Plenty of room for Justin Michael to get by there as they come down the backstretch.
He wasted no time getting around those drivers and did not lose any time to the leaders. Less than 25 to go here in Las Vegas, and it seems like the gamble for Justin Michael might be paying off.
Yeah, the last lap for Justin Michael, even with dealing with the lap traffic, was a 30.74. Bentley Glazer, James Lehman, a 31.28, 31.43, respectively.
A second a lap is definitely going to do it for Justin Michael. Is he going to be able to hold on to that pace? When do those tires start to fall off to the point that Bentley Glazer is at? Right now, working around the lap truck, number 46, Earl Weaver, with a pass for position just in front in Chris Samard.
Yeah, this is definitely what James Lehman and Bentley Glazer want to see. Justin Michael having a hard time trying to get by these lap trucks. As long as they can keep pushing him, making him use up those tires, it might be just enough for Bentley Glazer or James Lehman to hang on and win this race.
I think it's going to be a tough ask. There's another half a second cut out of the lead. And these trucks are not slowing down the 87 like the 7 and 50 might want. 20 to go this time by.
Justin Michael.
6 is staying right with Justin Michael. That's interesting.
Well, you can learn a lot being laps down and following the race leader. See if Justin Michael can knock off some more time here. It looks like he's closing in a hurry here to James Lehman.
I gotta say, Mike, I'll keep harping on it. I'm really impressed with Earl Weaver right now. Look at how close he's been able to stay to Justin Michael. They came into pit about 2 laps separate. Earl Weaver is a guy that, we don't often talk about as somebody racing up in the front, but he's definitely taking advantage of this opportunity to learn behind one of the quickest drivers of all night. And look at him. He's starting to close in a little bit coming up off of turn number 4. Here we go. A pass for second place. It's going to be James Lehman trying to defend from Justin Michael.
I think James Lehman just came in too soon there.
I think you're right.
Even Earl Weaver getting in on the action, making a pass here.
Yeah, that John Deere Chevy Silverado is looking good, looking fast. He's in 24th place. He's the first car 1 lap down. So if a caution comes out, he can get himself some fresh tires. He'll restart behind all the lap traffic, but he could get himself a couple of extra spots here at the end of this thing. And with the speed that he's showing on the same tires or similar tires as Justin Michael, really good look for that 46 truck. Bob Beltrami right now sitting inside the top 10. He's got Michael Milfelt Jr. and Ray Partridge trying to draw a bead on him. Just under 20 laps to go.
A little bit of action all over the track. Chad Simpson trying to stay in front of Matthew Opplinger. Opplinger staying to the high side here. Come back up to Bentley Glazer. After Justin Michael was able to get by James Lehman, that gap has closed in a hurry. It is going to be close to see if Bentley Glazer is going to have just enough to hang on, or if Justin Michael rolls the dice, takes the gamble, and is going to come away with the victory here.
Now that time by 3.5 tenths, cut out of the lead of Bentley Glazer by Justin Michael. He is absolutely flying right now. Justin Michael is. Bentley Glazer, I just don't think he's going to have enough to hold on. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on for 5 more laps, let alone 15.
I think you're probably right. We'll see. We'll see if he has anything left in that number 7 Chevy here. You can see that graph up on the screen, just how quick that gap has went away from lap 88 to 92. He cut almost 2 seconds off.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane the amount of speed that 87 has had consistently throughout the night. But this pit strategy here at the end to stay out longer, let everybody use up their stuff before you, and just let them fall back, seems to be paying off here as we approach these final 10 laps.
Justin Michael is there now within a 1/10 of a second here. We'll see if Bentley Glazer's going to try and throw some blocks. Hang on here, because he's got quite a gap back to third, but Justin Michael looking to put that 87 Toyota back in victory lane.
And for his 6th on the season, moves down to the inside, drives it in deep. He's going to slide up the racetrack, has to let off just a little bit, and that's going to give a big advantage back to Bentley Glazer. Here comes Weaver back down to the bottom. He knows he's got speed, and he knows he could get his lap back the hard way. That way, if a caution comes out, he can take away these passes without having to pass any more lapped cars, and that is exactly what Bentley Glazer wants to see. Somebody else contending with that 87 to slow him down.
Yeah, it looked like Weaver saw who was behind him and who he just passed, and he just made a hard right-hand turn and said, I don't want any part of this.
Said, all right, that was fun. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm super impressed with the speed of that 46, though. I mean, he is doing a phenomenal job here late in this race, and you know, I really think he'd be somebody to watch if he can set himself up in the middle in the beginning like this. Could be somebody amazing to keep an eye on. He's down 7 spots from where he started, 17th position. And with only 1 caution throughout the course of this race, it's really, really tough to get those back when you lose them.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about it. Once you lose them, you're kind of just stuck. But he's racing it out. He's staying behind Justin Michael here. And I think he's figured a few things out as he was hanging on to the bumper there and working his way around this track. And hey, maybe next time we come back here and he can figure out the start and be contending here up front.
And I think he's kind of gotten himself to a point where he sees, hey, there's not really a great chance of me getting a position from somebody that these guys are about to lap. Maybe I can just chill out, let them do their thing, and you know, maybe he gets lucky in his case, and this ends up being the caution that he needs. We've got less than 10 laps to go, coming to 8 laps to go, and I got to say I'm impressed with Bentley Glazer as well, as here comes Justin Michael all the way down to the grass. Is he going to try it down on the inside once again? No, this time he's looking outside.
Inside, outside, trying every which way he can think of to try and get by that number 7 Chevy of Bentley Glazer. Justin Michael has the momentum. We'll see if he's going to pull down to the inside, get that nose down. Not enough yet as Bentley Glazer's pinching him down. We'll see if that air is going to come off the rear of the 80 or of the 7 there. Not quite. Bentley Glazer cutting it down in the grass, not giving Justin Michael an inch.
Comes Michael down to the inside. Last time he went in, he dove it in too deep and had to let off a little bit. This time around, Bentley Glazer is going to be able to hold on the outside. Still, race lead to Bentley Glazer. Man, these guys are absolutely giving it everything they've got. Justin Michael trying to figure out a way around the 7. He's going to want to do it clean. Bentley Glazer going for 2 in a row. Justin Michael going for his 6th on the season to pretty much solidify himself as the championship favorite with these drop weeks coming up.
Yeah, definitely. He's missed a couple weeks, so the drop week is going to take away the 0, so he is going to move right up to the top, I do believe, after a couple weeks. We'll see how close this is going to be after it tightens up a little bit more. Right now it is only 8 points anyway, as we're going to come to the handshake lap. 5 to go when Bentley Glazer crosses the line. Can he hold off Justin Michael for 5 more laps?
And I know I said about 10 laps ago, I don't think he could for 5 more. But now this is a different story. The 87 has not been able to find a clear path around the 7. And right now, 2/10 separating them. They're running virtually equal lap times. Has Justin Michael used up too much of his stuff to make this pass happen? Or is he just setting himself up for one final effort?
Yeah, he keeps driving it in deep as they come through the front stretch here, trying to take all the apron, trying to get that momentum. Just not quite enough. There's Bentley Glazer, goes tick for tat. Everywhere he goes, there is Bentley Glazer.
I think Justin Michael's got to get it done on the high side in turns 1 and 2. He moves down to the inside of 3 and 4, but there's just not enough space to get it done on the inside. Slides up right next to the wall, stays in it, doesn't touch that wall, but man, he's getting closer and closer every time. 3 laps to go.
3 laps to go. Justin Michael that time waited to the last possible second to pull down on the apron. Bentley Glazer stayed up on the racetrack. Glazer still in front as they're coming up on some lap trucks here. We'll see if they're going to play a part or if they're going to be able to get out of the way. Bentley Glazer, can he do it? Can he hold on for 2 more laps?
So Michael had himself a little bit of a moment coming up off of 2. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. Where does this lap car go? It looks like he's going to try to stay up to the high side. To the bottom of the racetrack goes Bentley Glazer. Justin Michael a little bit loose, and he's not going to be able to use up all the racetrack that he wants to. That's going to cost him a car length or 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Justin Michael slid up the track almost into the 21, stayed off of him, but that is going to cost him, and probably, if he can't find a little bit of momentum here, might cost him the race. White flag out. Bentley Glazer, 2 in a row is on the line. Will he hold off Justin Michael? And it looks like he has got a little bit of a gap here. We'll see what happens as they head into turn 3 and 4.
Coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. Justin Michael drives it in deep, but he knows he's got nothing. Bentley Glazer's going to come up off of turn number 4, make it 2 in a row. He gets it done in Las Vegas. What a gamble. I mean, it paid off, man. Justin Michael, with the latest pit strategy, the freshest tires, just couldn't get the job done. And I got to be the first one to eat my own words. I said about 15 to go. I didn't think Glazer had 5 more laps in the lead. He had 15 more, and he has a checkered flag for the 2nd time in a row.
That was an amazing hard battle there between Bentley Glazer and Justin Michael. Pit strategy played out. Bentley Glazer came in on lap 74. Justin Michael didn't come in till lap 78.
And James Lehman, who came in on lap number 69, still comes home in 3rd place. Great job to him to finish out the podium. We're going to watch Bentley burn it down while we wait for our podium drivers line up for interviews. Chris Samard comes home in 4th, and Chad Simpson rounds out your top 5. Then Chad Stearns, Bob Beltrami, Matthew Opplinger, Lyle Swearingen, and Brian Barnes make up your top 10. Only one caution here today in Las Vegas. Came out about lap 45 for a spin involving Ryan Steele, Morris Bogan, Dennis Husan, and the 97 of Keith Hovda. From there on out, we were clean and green. Another green flag pit stop to get us home. Bentley Glazer got to take advantage of his pit strategy, come home with a checkered flag. Going to go ahead and bring in James Lehman, our 3rd place finisher. James, it's Lehman Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, you had a blazing fast truck all night. We saw you come into the pits from the lead on about lap 68, 69. Did you think that was going to be the winning call there, or did you anticipate everybody would follow you in?
I just figured I'd get off strategy a little bit, from everybody else. I was kind of hoping it would play off a little bit better, but I didn't really take an account of getting through traffic and how much tire I wasted doing that. So, but I mean, I still pulled what a third place out of it, so I'm not too mad about it.
You come home with a podium finish, and that 50 truck was blazing all night. What does it take to get, or to get your truck as quick as it was here tonight?
It's just practice running this track. The track's changed so much over the last 3 years with just the setup and the aero package. And I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. I personally hate this track now because of the aero package. It sucks. It's not you don't really have to race hard anymore. It's just block the top lane. That's about it. But yeah, it was all right.
James, you get it done here. You come home third on the podium. Another strong run for you today. Who do you want to thank for keeping that thing up here on the podium?
Just thanks to everybody in Max V that supports me doing this, and then thank you guys broadcast. I look forward to watching it tomorrow. And thanks to Bob for putting it on.
Stuff, man. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully be talking to you again in the next week or a couple weeks here.
Of course. See ya.
All right, now we've got second place Justin Michael. Mike, I believe you're with him.
Justin, man, how is it going?
Hey, it's going all right. Not the finish I wanted, but we'll take it. We got to get points tonight.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you had something there for Bentley Glazer. Came up on the lap truck just in the wrong time. Kind of cost you a little bit of time there. But other than that, I mean, you came in, basically split the race almost in thirds. Had the fresher tires at the end of the race, which is what you wanted. I mean, other than that, man, how was it actually racing out there tonight?
Bad. The aero and the setup, it's terrible. It's just you can't pass unless you got really newer tires than the other guy. But it's just, I miss the old days where you actually had to drive this place and lift and brake and everything and save tires. But I don't know. Hopefully they'll fix it one day.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like you guys were pretty much wide open, and you just had to get some momentum somehow. I saw a lot of you guys cutting the start finish line and just trying anything you could to get a little bit of momentum here. But all in all, you started on the pole. You bring home a P2. I mean, looking pretty good as far as your championship hopes. What's the rest of the season look like for you for these final two races?
I forget where they're at. Isn't it a plate track and then Chicago land, if I remember right? But something like that. But it's some tracks that I like, if I remember. So hopefully we'll run pretty good.
I'll tell you. 1 second here. It is Daytona and Phoenix.
Phoenix, okay. Yeah, I like Phoenix, so we run pretty good at both those tracks. And Daytona's always a crapshoot, let's be honest. So we'll just have to survive that one. And once the drop weeks start kicking in, I think we'll be really, really in good shape in the points, though.
Yeah, you missed a week, so you're 0, and we'll get dropped off pretty quickly here, especially with this second place finish. So you should tighten up that points battle. Ryan still had a bad day this week as he got wrecked out early, so that's going to probably cost him a drop week this week. But all in all, P2 finish. Who do you want to thank before we get you out of here?
Just all the guys over at Bandit, good group of guys. Me and James both had a pretty good run. So, you guys for calling a great race as always. Bob for splitting on the leg, and Scott over there, Patton and Paints for painting this awesome looking truck, which I did forget to change the rims on. They're not supposed to be red. That's a whole other story. But and just everybody out there who's watching on my stream at the Floorboard Deep on Twitch, and we'll see you guys next week.
Not next week. I think we got an off week for Thanksgiving,
holiday.
But 2 weeks we got Daytona.
Yep, 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully back up here.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again.
Thanks, guys.
All right. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and bring in our race winner 2 times in a row. Bentley Glazer, you've gotten it done. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I didn't expect to get that one. He was
Well, what
coming
was
up on some better tires for sure.
What was it like in those last 30 or so laps for you? When you go back and watch this, you'll hear me be the first to say, I don't think he can do it. But you proved me wrong, and you got it done. What was it like racing against Justin on those fresher tires?
I was watching him catch me, and I thought for sure I didn't stand a chance, but I think he tried to pass me like right when he got to me and kind of had a lift, and I think if he was a little more patient, he would have got me there. But once I saw that happen, I thought if I could just get into his line, he was not going to get it with the dirty air.
Well, Bentley, you're a former champion of this series, I believe. Not full-time this year, but to be able to come back and get 2 race wins in a season, what does it do for your confidence level? And do you think that means we might see you back for another championship run next season?
Yeah, I hope to run the whole schedule next season, and it's gotten tougher to win. I know James and Justin, they've won a lot, and there's a lot of new competition coming in, so it makes it exciting and makes it fun. I'm just glad I could get 2, especially at Bristol. I love Bristol.
Bristol and Las Vegas could not be 2 different racetracks, but you get them done at both. Who helps you get it done at these types of racetracks? Who do you want to thank for such a strong couple of weeks here?
I got to thank Bob for putting on this league, and you got to love the car count we keep getting. I hope that keeps up. Hope we get 30-plus cars every week. And I got to thank my teammates at OGR who race in a different league on Tuesdays. And you guys in the booth.
Some stuff, Bentley. It's good to talk to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again in a couple of weeks here at Daytona.
Yep, should be fun.
Appreciate you, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to about do it for us here on Sim Racing Media. We'll go through the finishing results in a moment. But, man, I got to say how impressed I am with this league. They continuously show up with 30 or more trucks. And obviously, I know that last week at Bristol, that was Bristol. We had a couple of extra caution flags. But to be able to get through 107 laps with only 1 caution, 32 trucks starting this race, that is just incredible talent that we have from first place all the way to last in this league.
Yeah, there's always something going on, some sort of battle on the track. We saw several of them. I mean, they're battling out for 20th position, side by side, 3 wide action. I mean, it's all over the track. These guys put on a phenomenal race, and I'm glad that we get a chance to broadcast their league. But like you said, let's go ahead and go through the finishing results. Bentley Glazer, Justin Michael, James Lehman, you heard from those 3 drivers, are the podium drivers. Chris Sumar, Chad Simpson, Chad Stearns, Bob Beltrami, Matthew Opplinger, Lyle Swearingen, and Brian Barnes are that top 10. We got Christian Bishop, Michael Melfeld Jr., Rob Haynes, Justin T. Wilkinson, and Ray Partridge with the top 15.
After that, we move on to Jai Baxter, Heath Smith, Dan Brasington, Julian Ritchie, and David Weaver. Todd Miles, Daryl Scott, and Earl Weaver, who we praised massively there at the end of the race. Good run for him. Didn't get the finish he wanted. Dustin Burns, Morris Bogan, Butch Davis, also a couple of guys who performed well, didn't get the finishes they wanted. And James Campbell, Ryan Steele, unfortunately did not finish, along with Keith Hovda, Dennis Husan, Charlie Widener, and Alan Bergen won the race to the beer stand.
Yeah, so with that, we're going to wrap it up, have a break for the holidays, so you will see a little less action here on Sim Racing Media next week. But always a pleasure, Liam.
Absolutely. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here live on Sim Racing Media, spending your Tuesday night with us. Before we let you go, always that friendly reminder, as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Thanks for tuning in, folks.